the field goal. He's got the premiership.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Touchline Between the Sticks. If you're new here, please smash the like button, comment down below, subscribe to our channel. And yeah, boys, NRL is back this week, man.
Yeah, man.
Finally.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Enough with the preseason challenges.
That's
We're
it.
back in Vegas this week for the second time, actually. Let's hope this actually works. They actually get a big turnout in terms of Americans. I know a lot of Aussies are going over there, but let's hope there's a lot of Americans watching in Allegiant Stadium and at home.
Last year was like 80% of Australians that
fucking-
went
yeah,
there,
it
something
was.
around
Some
that.
crazy
that was bad.
stat.
That was terrible.
Well, yeah, the promotion's been again improved. Like again, WWE shouted out Aaron Woods, promoted the NRL Vegas.
footy
Again,
balls.
collabed with like Cody Rhodes giving the footy ball, and I think they were trying to get Donald Trump involved. Something about that. So
Like an invitation, yeah.
it's getting, I think, more notice and probably in America. So
Well, they pumped a lot of money, as you said, in marketing.
Yeah.
And better than
They
last
did,
year.
exactly.
Yeah,
What did they do last year? I don't think
Nah,
they did
it was-
nothing last year.
They didn't do much last
It's
year.
just Russell Crowe explaining the game, just a few
Yeah.
promo videos, and I think they got that one NFL player, that
Yeah.
Rob guy, Rob
was
Kowski,
The
whatever
Rock-
his name is.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah,
get
one
the
of
Rock?
They got Jordan
Yeah.
Jordan Mailata
Yeah,
to
yeah.
promote the game with The Rock and
Yeah,
gave
yeah,
him the
exactly.
ball and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, yeah.
But this year, yeah, as you said, WWE smashed it out at the park. But let's just hope these games deliver. Now they got the England team, the Super League teams, and they got the women's playing.
Yeah.
Playing
So like they got more
So
matches
there's a lot
happening.
going
Are
on.
those
Like,
games
everything's
on
all
Sunday
happening.
as well? The Super League ones? Are they
Yeah.
on Sunday? The
I
games?
think
Or
it will
they're
be.
Saturday?
It should be
Maybe
earlier.
maybe around 7:30.
Nah, maybe I think it's on Sunday.
Sunday as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure.
probably early in the morning.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, Anthony, what's the first game of Vegas this week?
We got Raiders versus New Zealand Warriors. That's going to be the
gonna
first game.
Yeah.
So who's the tipping?
I'm gonna go Warriors. At start I was gonna go Raiders. But they had some little some incident with
Hudson Young
and one of the other players.
Was it
Smithies, Morgan
Smithies,
Smithies. But they're locked in, they're playing, but still I think something like that could affect the team.
Yeah.
Again, I said before this incident I was tipping the Raiders. I thought they could get the job done. I think after this, I'm not ruling Raiders out completely, but Warriors, they got a strong forward pack, and again, it's a great start to get the win. They've been, very good in preseason, and yeah, they just got to kick on from that. So I'll tip Warriors for that one.
I'm tipping Raiders. Yeah, Raiders to win. I don't think that would affect them much in terms of what happened. It wasn't really much.
Yeah.
It was some inflatable that they thought was a weapon. So like it was. They had a little scuffle in what was the elevator or something.
Yeah, something
And
situated.
it was in regards to like a room booking as well.
Yeah, whatever.
was-
so it
yeah.
wasn't like it's
wasn't
not a big,
not
a big
much happening,
not
yeah.
a big scandal enough
Yeah.
to actually do anything to their game. So I'm picking Raiders over Warriors. And again, like sometimes Raiders show up. I mean, most of the time they actually show up on like the big stage. You can't really count them out.
Yeah.
They got that grit. They got that. They got something in them like that Ricky Stewart installs in them. We all know Raiders are that gritty team. So I feel like them in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, I feel like they'll perform well.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Warriors. I agree with Samuel. Yes, it's such a small incident, but still something that small can still affect the performance. There's going to be pressure on like Hudson Young and Smithies. Like they have to be on their A game this week. Like one little mistake, the pressure's going to mount on them. And I think Warriors, I've put them wooden spoon this year, but I feel this could be a good week for them, a good start to the season. I think their forward pack is stacked. They got Mitchell Barnett, you got Jackson Ford, Nakura. You've got a very solid forward pack. Their backline is pretty weak. You got in their halves, you got Melcalf and Tira Martin. Is that his name?
To me, Martin.
To me, Martin, yeah. So it's not a bad backline. I still think it's still weak compared to the Raiders squad. So it's going to be a very entertaining game. I think Warriors will just edge it, just in regards to what Sammy said about the incident that's happened. It could play an effect. Probably it won't, but I think it will. So I think Warriors by 10.
Yeah, all right.
really good.
Yeah, I'm going Warriors by 10.
I'm sticking with Canberra Raiders. Look, I understand about that situation. Look, it is what it is. Let them focus for this week. It's a big game. So Warriors, there's not much going on. Like they lost Sean Johnson last year.
And
He's
Fanua
retired
Blake,
now.
and
So
Fanua Blake.
yeah, Fanua Blake
But they-
and Marcel Montoya as well.
Yeah,
But
they-
they got Fisher Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got James Fisher-Harris. So that's going to be a
Big boost.
like a big, massive boost for.
He's actually
for
named
him.
captain this week.
Yeah,
I think he's the new captain for the club.
well, I
which
think
is-
he should be the captain for the whole season.
Yeah, he probably would
is.
be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But end of the day, I think Canberra Raiders should get the win. I think they'll probably 13 plus probably.
Now
Okay.
Panthers,
Yeah.
Panthers, and
That's a big
Cronulla
one.
Sharks. That's a big game.
That's going to be a blockbuster, that one.
Rematch from the preliminary final last
Yeah.
season. I think everyone's going to probably be tipping Panthers. I'm tipping Panthers just for the fact that 4P, they've got a strong team. And again, they're going to kickstart the way they finished every 4 years in a row right now. So, again, Sharks, I don't think they'll cause an upset. Panthers just Panthers. Like, there's not much I can really say about them.
Yeah.
They've got the structure, they've got the players, and Panthers, I would say 1-12. Close game.
1-12.
Yeah, look, I'm going to differ from you, bro.
Sharks.
I reckon Sharks take it.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, different environment for Panthers. You know, they haven't played in Las Vegas. I mean, yeah, you can say 4P premiers, whatever, but no Jerome Luai, no Fisher Harris, no, like a lot of players are gone from that team.
Yeah.
You've seen them struggle in their half. Still, Ivan Cleary doesn't seem to know who's his halves pairing, you know, going into the season. So I'm saying, like, I feel like they're going to struggle for a bit till they get, you know, find their foot again. I feel like, again, in a foreign environment, you know, you can't really pick a team to win, even though you're 4P premiers. So that's why I'm going to tip Sharks. I feel like they're just stronger. They're more together. And I feel like they take the victory.
I'm going Panthers. Yes, they don't have a half combination going. Like I
They've
think
got Cole in it.
Cole's
Right,
a halfback
number
just for
6.
this week. Talag is injured. You got Toto is injured. So there's a few injuries heading for Panthers this week. I think Sharks, I think they do have a solid squad. I think they've got stacked players around the pitch. Their backline's decent. You got Nico Hines, who he needs a big season. This is, again, we've seen him over the years where he doesn't turn up in the big games. This is a big game. First game in Las Vegas for the Sharks and Panthers. If he can step up and prove to be the main guy to guide Sharks to the win, would be crucial. But just for me, Panthers are always favourites for every game. Too strong. I think when you have Cleary in the team, he can really just change anything in the game and turn it into a win. If you're performing bad, he can just turn it and make a win.
Well, I'm going to go complete opposite. I'm going to go for the Sharks. Their 4-pack is like getting bigger this year as well. You still got, I know, Thomas Hazelton. Now you got Fanua Blake coming in as well from Warriors. That's going to be a big boost for them. So I'm not going to write off Penrith. I know Penrith, they've won 4 premierships. They played well, exceptional last year. But the injuries might a little bit affect them. And don't forget, star players that have gone past the club, like they left, like Jerome Luai, Turuva. So I think Cronulla should edge it. Probably 1-12, I think.
What's good about Sharks, they haven't really lost any players, but besides Royce Hunt.
Yeah, Royce Hunt was the only big
He was a good player still. Adding Fanua Blake can give him that spark, and I think he's a player that they've been missing. You think about it, Hazelton is a try scorer. And imagine adding Fanua Blake, which is in the squad. He's also a try scorer. So you've got one of the 2 best forwards in the game, try-scoring machines, and that can be a real asset for a club like Sharks. And not a lot of clubs have a try-scoring forward. So
right,
that's good for Sharks.
and he's been performing well, Thomas Hazelton.
Apparently he's linked with Rabbitohs, Dragons, and Dolphins. I think he's set to leave to another club next year.
Well, it's going to be a close game.
It will be.
Sharks have good players, Panthers have good players.
It's going to be a tie game.
That one's at 3:30, isn't it?
Yeah,
so that will be a good game to watch. So, that's a wrap up for the previews. Next week, they'll finish the remaining
Let's talk about the incident that happened with the Raiders players. You had Hudson Young and Morgan Smithies, his name?
Morgan Smithies,
Yeah, so you had them in an altercation together. They were out on a Thursday night, and they had a bit of an altercation, which I don't think they called the coppers, but the coppers almost had them arrested because they thought they had a weapon, which turned out to be a inflatable baseball bat. So I don't know how you mixed that up with a weapon, but anyways, so none of them were sent home. They're expected to play and whatnot. So you could say it was a bit of, as we said, it wasn't as big of a scandal as it could have been, to be honest. Because imagine if one actually got knocked out or someone had a weapon on them. That could have been very serious for the game. Ricky Stewart didn't shut it down with reporters. He actually said what it was. He had a bit of an altercation, and so he was actually very ashamed of what happened. Like, bro, the guy was like, not even just about my club. He's like, that was. We're representing the game right now, so for that to happen, man, it was so disgusting.
The players had to come out and apologize.
At
Vegas, even if you saw Morgan Smithies did have a black eye, but they're saying it was during training.
No,
I find it hard to believe. It's most likely they had a brawl and a punch up, but. Yeah, look, I guess what Bill's saying is right. It's just a minor issue, but still, when you're going to another country, another state, like, you need to be on your best behavior. Even if it's like so small like that, you can't let that happen. It gives a little bad image to the game.
And I've said it in the past on the podcast as well. Like, when you're going to Vegas, like, coming from an NRL perspective, like, you have to show like who you are and like who you're representing, like from a different sport level. You can't like go embarrass yourself and do whatever you want just because Las Vegas is like the
Yeah,
biggest.
because imagine that. Like, even like, no matter how small the issue too is, you
Yeah.
can see from the other side, like, bro, you're representing the game. Like, even just a smaller slip up, it's like, oh, that represents the NRL. So the NRL players are grubs like that. Like, this could have went very bad for the NRL.
Yeah.
That could have sent all their marketing ploys out the window. You know, all the WWE promotion that they had, all the big invitations to Donald Trump that they had. That could have went all out the window with just this one incident.
And
Absolutely.
the fact that he had a black eye again, like if he didn't have a black eye, it was like, oh, it's probably like a little scuffle. But the fact that he had a black eye, there's probably punches thrown
there's something behind the
between
scenes,
teammates. So it's again, it's not a good look, especially when it's something that small and they've had a fight over it. So again, I back what I'm saying. I think it's going to affect them heading into this game, not probably the season. I'm predicting them top 8. But again, I also mentioned in another video I made about if the Broncos win the premiership, that off-field incidents can always affect the team. No matter how big or small it is, it can always come back and bite them. So they just got to stay focused, and then we'll see what happens round 1 Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, boys.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. But did something happen last year? I was trying to
no,
like.
so-
I had the
It was the
Carrigan
before.
and
So
Reynolds.
before they were going to Vegas, I don't know if it was at Vegas.
No, it was at Brisbane. It was at Brisbane.
Yeah,
They
training.
scuffled.
They
They
had
had
that
that
party or
argument or
something.
something.
Yeah, it was Carrigan and Reynolds.
No. Wasn't there something that happened in Vegas
Not
when
really.
NRL went to Vegas the first time?
No, I
Wait,
can't
so
remember.
who was? No, 4 teams were there. Manly was
Rabbitohs.
Roosters,
Rabbitohs
and
Broncos.
and Broncos. as well.
Could have sworn there was something. Oh, I think we were talking a lot about it leading up to it, saying what happens if there
I
was a
think
scandal.
it was only Carrigan.
I don't know, maybe I'm
what's
getting
that?
confused.
It must have been here in Brisbane.
Carrigan, I
It
think
could have
that-
been at Vegas.
Because me and Sammy actually did speak about that when that news broke out about Morgan Smith isn't that. Said,
Yeah.
didn't something like that happen last year? But
Yeah.
I think it was the Adam Reynolds.
Yeah.
But again,
Adam
man,
Reynolds,
this
yeah.
could have went very bad.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
players
It
could have
was.
been doing drugs. They could have been, out there doing different shit. You do in Vegas, man. Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Lucky.
Exactly. The game saved.
But honestly, the game saved. Well, what's happening next year? Is it Doggies going over there?
Well,
Or Doggies and
They
Dragons?
haven't made official yet, but it looks like most likely.
There's rumors
they're
that saying
gonna
it's
head in
Tigers, Eels, Dragons, Dogs.
there. Yeah, that's going to be.
Like, look, I'm
You're
not.
gonna see all the
Western
levels there.
teams.
Honestly, bro, but like, imagine not only the Bulldogs, imagine the Dragons over there too. Like two of the biggest fan bases in the
obviously.
NRL.
I think that'll be very I think those
Good
4
marketing.
clubs, very good marketing. You can do
Yeah,
so much
bro.
with those 4
But
clubs.
how about when John Bernard did that video ages ago, a couple of years ago, or when he went to Texas and telling them about Canterbury Bulldogs and that? Have you seen it on TikTok?
I think I know.
Yeah,
which
it
one
was
you're talking
ages
about.
ago. He was
Yeah.
trying to like promote it like a long time ago.
Yeah, but anyways,
Yeah.
but like, imagine if no,
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
that's just so random, bro. but I'm saying, like, imagine our
Yeah.
fan base, Dragons fan base. Imagine it was Bulldogs, Eels, even like those are the sort of teams that should be bringing to
Yeah.
Vegas, man.
You
They're
need
gonna-
rivalries.
You need
in it.
that's what I was gonna say.
Just
You need
rivalries.
rivalries in the games like going to Vegas where
It'll be mad if State of Origin one day is there. That would be.
Oh,
One
I
day-
think they did bring it over there one year.
Stay
Back in
Origin.
yeah,
But
bro,
that was
back in the
back in the
90s.
late 80s or 90s.
Yeah,
or
they
should bring it
something,
back.
yeah.
That would
But yeah, like if it's just a normal match, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still gonna be an entertaining game. But when there's literally a rivalry in it,
Yeah.
you're gonna see another level of that game, and everyone's gonna just stay tuned.
Would
to it.
we go to Vegas? Like would we go if
don't-
the Bulldogs were to go?
Well, if it's Bulldogs,
Depends.
Depends.
It's just
Like-
but look for example, because how you mentioned about Bulldogs, Parramatta, West Tigers, and St George. Look, I understand that we're versing St George first round this year. If you're going to go Vegas, maybe switch it around. Let Bulldogs versus Tigers first round.
What, in Vegas?
Yeah, in Vegas.
Tigers.
Let St George versus Parramatta.
Oh, why Tigers?
Something different,
you
bro.
rather
First
versus-
round.
Yeah,
like,
but
we
you-
haven't had a first round with
Alright,
Tigers.
right.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. We
Yeah.
did versus them in 2011.
Yeah, but that was
no,
like
but it's
ages
ages
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
It'd
It'd be
I know
better
what you're
rivalry.
But in terms of like, I've always said it, like back to my original question, would we go? I've always said it, like, as dedicated as I am as a Doggies fan,
Yeah.
for me to fly from here to
Las Vegas.
basically the United States, Las Vegas, to watch an NRL game, like, why would I?
Nah, yeah.
It's like I've got it in my backyard. I've got
know,
it at
exactly.
Olympic Park, bro.
Yeah,
I'll go watch an NRL game. I know it's an experience and it's an excuse
Yeah.
to go out to Vegas and,
yeah.
you know, do whatever over there.
Yeah.
Bashar.
Hoorah!
No. Well, what do you mean, bro? I wasn't saying that. Like, come on, bro. Stop putting words in my mouth. But I'm saying, like, it's a great excuse, but I just don't see a reason for me to
Yeah.
go over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
like
I know.
WrestleMania or
I'd go
something.
for another event, like again wrestling.
Yeah, obviously,
something
like
that.
WrestleMania or UFC or something.
Yeah, again, if everyone's going, like you might as well. But
Yeah.
again, we have it here, so like I don't know if I'd go all the way to America just to watch the Dogs play.
Now, let's talk about the Roosters They're in a bit of crisis right now.
Yeah,
Now
they are.
Spencer Leniu wants to leave the club.
I know.
Yeah, well, he's been very unsettled ever since that incident with Urjamam. He said those comments, and then it just blew off from there. He hasn't really settled in, and again, you could see that I think he's suspended for
2 games. I think
2
2
games
games
again
suspension,
from his
yeah.
big hit. It's not looking good for him. Again, I think he has so much potential, but sometimes there's these players that like are very quick to get angry. They can't control their tempers, and it just leads them to getting suspended week after week, you know. And then again, it's a mess for him. You look at him, Panthers. He had some sort of control. I think because he was around people he relates to, like Luai, To'o. They're all from the same culture. Which is good. Like it's sort of like family for him there. But when he comes to Roosters, I don't think it's worked out for him as it should be. He's a very good player, strong player, and he still has so much potential. But I think a move away from Roosters, maybe come back to Panthers, would be a better thing for him.
Yeah, he's got a like Sammy said, he's a very good player. Just Roosters, they're in crisis. Like what's happening around that club right now, we've spoke about multiple times, them losing players, and now with Spencer Leniu wanting to leave the club possibly, that's a big loss. And with a player like him, when you sign him from Penrith last year, you expect more players of a caliber like him to join the club. But if your main star, one of your main forwards at the club wanting to leave, that's a big red flag for
Especially with all the list of players that aren't even playing for him no more.
Exactly.
I mean, coming off injuries, you got players, not there anymore. Manu, Suaalii, man, fucking, this is the last thing they want right now.
Tupouniua as well.
And they just got pumped
This
against
goes
the
on.
Knights in the trials. So a news like this,
Yeah.
I think it's going to go completely a mess for the Roosters this
But
year.
the question is, like, how Chad Townsend, like, is it going to change the game around for Roosters? Like
Look,
what's he going to prove? Like, he's had injuries
He's coming.
in the
I
past.
think he's coming in the wrong time, Chad
Yeah,
Townsend.
I think so.
I think
agree
for
with you,
Chad
Bill.
Townsend, they still have a decent forward pack, and for a halfback, I think it's important that they do have a forward pack. They've got Crichton, they've got Butcher, they've got still Spencer Leniu. So
Victor Radley as well.
I
They're
think
also there.
he can still work well with this forward pack. I think he can link up well with James Tedesco. Tedesco can help him in a way because a halfback needs to work well and have a good combination with a fullback. So look, I'm a fan of Chad Townsend. I think people scapegoat him a lot. He won a premiership at Sharks. I think he was decent at Cowboys.
Yeah.
He did have and pull good performances, and yes, he's heading to Roosters at, like Bill said, a wrong time. The club's on a down for losing players. Now Spencer Leniu wants to leave.
And then-
He's suspended. So, like, you don't know what's really going to happen. People predicting they're going to struggle, but who knows? Like, sport's a weird game and anything can literally happen. And Chad Townsend, who knows, could be the player they need, and he'll guide them on the right path.
Now
You just don't know.
let's talk about Kieran Foran.
Yeah,
He's out for
another-
3 months with a bicep tear.
Another
He
injury,
claims it's not the end for him, but do you think he should medically retire?
He should, man.
Yeah.
I remember him at the Bulldogs constantly getting injured. And he just, again, when you get old, your body, becomes very fatigued. We can say Adam Reynolds. I don't know why he's still playing. I feel the fact that these players don't retire is because they love the game so much is that they don't want to lose it, because that's the only thing that's going for them. And I think that's why he's holding back not to retire. He probably knows deep down that he probably should retire, but I think he's just holding back so maybe I can give it one more crack. And he's constantly saying, okay, I'm going to still play, I'm going to recover, get back to playing. So I think he's in that position where he knows he should retire, but he doesn't want to retire.
Yeah, that's what it is for anyone in any professional sport. You talk about the UFC top fighters who should retire, who haven't retired. Talk about, pro wrestling, NRL even now, like since we're talking about Kieran Foran, like, it happens to the best of people, man.
Yeah.
If you, as you said, if this thing is your life, if this is all you've ever done since you were a young kid growing up and you played in the juniors and you made it first grade for X amount of years, man, it's like, what else do you got? I'm sure he's got other things probably in the back pocket.
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah, so but in terms of like making money doing what you love, bro, it's hard to come by in this life, man.
It is.
And as you said, he's trying to hold on to it where he should really let go. And I think it's time for Kieran Foran to hang up the boots.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
he's just going to come back from injury and then 2 weeks later he'll get another injury. It's just better off just to end it now, like deep inside it's over. Just hang up your boots and just maybe get a job at the Titans.
But like, I get he's almost there, but like, do Titans need him? I feel like with that experience,
They got AJ Brimson who can play.
Jaden Campbell's been doing good.
but in terms of experience,
They might, in terms of experience, of having experienced number 7, yes, it probably is needed for them. But I think Jaden Campbell's been doing very good last season. AJ Brimson, you've got
experienced
Tina
now, he's a great
Mali, who's got that experience as a captain. David Fafita. So I think he's been able to, nurture, for example, Campbell and Brimson. He's brought that experience to them, and I think slowly, we're starting to find leaders in this Titans squad, more experience playing Origin. So the team's starting to join. I think it's almost time that they reach that top 8.
Because if you put Kieran Foran in a club like, say Warriors, for instance, I think they're in a position where they sort of need it. Like, yes, Fisher Harris is the leader, and Mitchell Barnett, but overall they don't have enough leaders. Where Sammy said great points about Titans. You got Tino, who's played Origin, David Fafita, Origin. Lots of players have played for Origin. AJ Brimson has been performing very well when he's been playing in that number 6 role or number 7 role. So I think he's not a big loss. I think they've got good cover-ups. Jaden Campbell, I think, is a very underrated player. He's proven a lot last year, especially at a young age. He's taking games by himself, and I think that what they have now is enough to possibly push them to a top 8 if just things do go their way, if players stay fit. And with a coach like Hasler, you don't need Foran. I think Hasler's enough to stable the ship and just get what the players he has, he can work with it.
Well, you better hope. Now, Rabbitohs, talking about injuries, Cameron Murray, Latrell Mitchell. Yeah. Is the Rabbitohs season over?
Done.
Looks like it.
I think it's done.
Looks like it's done.
I've said on my prediction, I think people are just overhyping him too much. I think with Latrell, maybe there's hope, but I don't know. Just such a young squad. Their forward pack isn't that good. Yeah. I think the forward packs in the games this year have stepped up, and they've probably got one of the weakest. Just 8 weeks is too long, man. Yes, I think Latrell Mitchell last year had a similar situation where he was injured. He
just came,
but then he returned.
He's out for 8 weeks now.
Oof.
So I think it was last year where he had a period where he was injured. He came back, and then it did slowly change the Rabbitohs season. But for me, I don't know. I just think it's over. Like, Cameron Murray's such a big miss. Latrell's a big miss on top of that. Both leaders of the club. Who's the leaders now in the team?
Yeah.
No one.
There's literally
and not
leaders.
just that, even not just with the injuries as well, but Damien Cook, how he went to St. George, that's the biggest loss as well for
Their
St.
halfbacks and 5'8" are very
really
young.
what they got hanging on to right now is Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
That's
They're really,
they're
really hanging on Wayne Bennett to
they're all relying on him.
They're really hanging on Wayne Bennett to perform his miracles.
Yeah,
but that is their only hope because two of their biggest players out. Latrell Mitchell, he's always doing his hamstring.
Yeah.
The bloke goes to America and comes back and does it again, then goes back again. It's a constant cycle.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this doctor's doing to him over there. So I don't know.
Yeah, even Cameron Murray is the biggest loss as well.
It's
Wayne Bennett,
disgusting to be honest.
But Wayne Bennett can do anything. He can perform the biggest miracle, and then the team's back into the top 8. But I just feel with this case, their team is just too weak. Yeah. You look at Knights, people like to refer Wayne Bennett at Knights, but Knights had an established squad. You had Darius Boyd. You had Kurt? Yeah, Kurt Gidley still playing.
Kurt Gidley back in the day.
Still had good leaders, good experienced players, but with Rabbitohs, it's completely the opposite.
It's completely shattered. I would say
it's too young.
They only have Keon Kulamatagi.
Who else there is?
And again, I put them in 10th spot, but now looking at it, I really think they're in for a probably wooden spoon race again.
Like, how do we know Latrell Mitchell's not going to get injured during the season again?
Yeah,
it could happen.
They say 8 weeks, but normally there's delays after that.
Is he going to America again? Is that what he's doing?
For the rehab?
Because I swear, there's that doctor over there that he goes to.
Last time he went, didn't he?
Yeah, I feel like he might go back over there.
Made it worse.
Yeah, it's gonna get.
Since he's over there, it seems like he might as well do a trip to Vegas while
NRL's exactly. But with Latrell, he's out for 8 weeks. He'll come back. There'll be a bit of a delay before he can return to playing footy. He'll have probably 2 good games, but after that, the recovery is going to take time to get into his system and play properly footy.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough watch for the Rabbitohs, the fans this year.
Now let's talk about the Bulldogs. Yeah. Shocking in the preseason, 30-12. I mean, we're 1-for-1. We won against Tigers, lost against the Broncos with our full team back. What do you make of it? Is there something to worry about there?
First of all, many of the tries we scored from our mistakes. Connor Tracy made 2 knock-ons. They scored. I think I'm not worried in a way that I feel the players just weren't into it. Yeah. It was a hot day. They know it's preseason, and you could just sense Crichton wasn't, Crichton himself. The boys weren't together. And I just felt it's because it's preseason. I know for a fact that I think once that season starts, the kickoff against the Dragons, they're going to be on, they're going to be switched on. Because again, it's the proper competition. This is what matters the most. And I think that's why we didn't see the proper team. You could have two different mindset. We had the mindset of, we didn't want to go too hard. That's what I see. And I saw the Broncos wanting to go hard, wanting to play good, in which, they smashed us that game.
Yeah, they actually did.
We did get a control of the game. The first 20 minutes, I think we had like most of the possession, but we couldn't finish at all. And that's the scary bit. Like, I understand that you may not be into it, but when you're in attacking opportunities, you should be scoring. You should be at least putting some points on the board. But we didn't do that. So that's a bit of a concern. Defensively, we were good. As I said, 2 of our tries conceded were from bombs. Connor Tracy lost it. They go and score. But yeah, I'm not worried. I'm still staying positive, and we'll just see what happens against Dragons.
How I see is, yes, it's trolls, and we can't look too much into trolls. Players might not be into it. They're not invested into a troll match, but let's think it in a way that if we did win convincingly, most of the fans have said Dogs do look good. There's good signs. So we have to take into consideration, because we were like, that performance was terrible. And we have to sit back and question, are we looking as what we did back last year?
Yeah, but look how good the kids were last year. Because they're kids.
You mean last week?
No, last week. Because they're kids, they want to prove something.
But then,
look how good they played. So,
And even when the main players went off, look how good they played.
Yeah,
They started
yeah,
scoring.
exactly.
But
SG,
that's because the Broncos players came off. All of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But the players.
So what about
they
if
weren't
we
in
did
it.
play good?
Yeah,
We'll be
of
saying
course.
there's good signs.
Yeah.
So now, because we did play poorly, we have to say there's questions to be asked that it wasn't a good
But there's no
performance.
questions to be.
No, I don't think so.
I know
No,
it's
I'm
trolls.
going to differ with you,
Yeah,
bro.
me too.
It's genuinely because we haven't played in like X amount of months. What, 4 months? When was the
Literally
last time we
4 and a
played?
half
That goes
months,
with
I was
Broncos
like-
too.
No, I don't
But that
think-
goes with Broncos
It was.
too.
Yeah, okay, but at the same time, Doggies have always been like this. We play so bad at the beginning of the year.
Preseason.
Yeah.
Bro, preseason up until round 1 to round 10, say.
Yeah.
Bro, Doggies are rubbish at the start of the year. So
Yeah.
I don't expect anything going even from rounds 1 to 5 from the Dogs. Because what happened last year? Round 1, Parramatta. We got hammered.
And
We got pumped, yeah.
And then look what happened at the end of the year. We played finals.
Yeah.
So I feel like
See, it's
Doggies,
always that- it's always that-
Doggies,
yeah.
Doggies, they're that one team that it takes time for them to warm up.
Yeah.
But once they warm up, you better watch out.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, again, like we won 1 of our first 5, I think, last
Year, yeah.
but
That was
we
our
made-
Titans.
We almost made top 4.
Yeah.
And again, I'm taking it back to, I think they just weren't. They didn't want to play this game.
Yeah.
The
Like
mentality
they weren't
was
for it.
switched.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
mentality
And injuries
was
or whatever,
switched
they don't want to
Yeah,
get injured.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's preseason, bro.
Yeah,
Who wants-
it is.
Who
It
wants to
is.
go hard out in preseason?
100%.
As I said, the Broncos.
They're
won-
just trying to test themselves to see who's capable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a lot of errors. Matt Burton wasn't
was
in
errors.
focus as
There
well.
was errors.
Like you
Tracy-
said about Connor Tracy had a lot of errors in himself. Masol Matoi didn't even make that
he
much
was-
meters.
he-
Like
he was
either.
dreadful.
The
Like,
only
he was-
players, the only players that did stand up was Preston
and Blake Wilson
But
as
the
well.
only thing I'm gonna
Kerman.
thing I'm gonna take from that game
Yeah.
is that Matt Burton again is not a goal kicker.
he's
Yeah.
not. He has
He's
to get
not
up.
at all, bro.
Steve Crichton as the goal kicker. I think.
Sexton,
to be
You look
honest.
at it, I think it was 18.
No, it
18-10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if he had converted at 18-12, then
Yeah.
he went to 18-14 because of course he missed it.
again.
Yeah,
If
obviously.
he had got those 2 conversions, 18-18,
And just
we can't
take-
just afford that.
Take away the fact it's Charles. If that was a finals match,
Yeah.
he had missed 2 big kicks where it would have been 18-18. Let's say it was finals. It would have been locked
He did
up at
miss one in
18
the
or
finals.
Yeah, he did.
18 or he missed one in the finals.
And
Now,
even the 2 field goals as well
again,
last year.
we always
Two
bring up.
goals is hard.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
carried us. Like without
Yeah.
him in number 6, we're stuffed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, remember the game against Roosters at Gosford? He went to centers. How bad were we? We had no creativity.
Exactly.
But then again, you can't take away the fact that he's not good at goal kicking.
Yeah.
So Serrata's in a position. He's stubborn. He is very stubborn. That's the one thing about Serrata. He's stubborn. He doesn't like to change what he thinks is right. Burden is not a goal kicker. Yes, he may get some few, but he was on a 74%. Which in sense may look good, but if you look at the top kickers, they're getting like 90%, 89%. So
Absolutely, yeah.
get Crichton in, get Sexton in. One of them, just not Burden.
Because Burden, you look at it, he's been our kicker for 2 years since he's joined the club.
Yeah, yeah,
and he
actually
still
did, yeah.
hasn't improved. He's
No.
actually
Yeah.
getting worse.
Yeah,
And it's
obviously.
not, yes, okay, say he did have a 75%
Kicking,
conversion
yeah.
rate, but it may look good, but he's missing on the most important stages and the most important kicks. He's missing it. You look at the finals. You look at Melbourne. In round 5, you look at I
I think Good Friday he also had one. Panthers he had one. Yeah. So we really now look preseason we just saw he's not good enough again. Yeah. Now let's not make that mistake heading to a new season. Get Crichton or get Toby Sexton.
I think doesn't Crichton have a lower percentage?
Not sure, but
you really can't compare him because Burton's kicked longer.
They have to. Lomax, when he kicks, you're like, okay, confident. It's going to be an extra 2 points. Valentine Holmes, an extra 2 points. Mitchell Moses, extra 2 points. But with Burton, we just don't know if he's going to get it.
You know what we should do? Just call El Masri. Just be a goal kicker, bro. Don't even play, bro. Just goal kick for us, man. He'll save us a lot of games, bro.
He'll win us he's actually the godfather of goal kicking, man.
Yeah,
one of the best. One of the best.
Yeah, Halligan.
Yeah, Daryl Halligan taught Hazel Masri to become a goal kicker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is Masri teaching Burton? Get these boys teaching.
Yeah, and that's what Joey Maroon, shout out Joey. He said like the way they used to train back in the day in the Jersey Flag, because he almost made first grade for those of you who don't know. Yeah. So yeah, the way they used to train in terms of goal kicking is like they'd set up certain points. You know, they start 10 meter, then 20 meter, 30 meter, so forth. However far they used to go to. Every time they miss, say they get like a mad streak going and they miss that one, they got to start from the beginning again. Yeah. That's how you create like good goal kickers, bro.
That's old school.
I don't know what they're doing now. Maybe they still do it, but I don't know. They got to get these. They got to get the El Masris and bro. They have to get these sort of great goal kickers to teach Matt Burton how to kick.
Yeah, look, I don't think they're gonna change. So we got to just stick to the fact that he's gonna be a goal kicker, and then hopefully, man, he improves.
Look, even at the attack as well, they weren't even like spreading out wide. They're always like just super close.
Very rusty. Very rusty.
Look, I understand it's just trials. I understand, but now because when we start the season, you have to spread out wide. Like I said a million times, mate. If you're the coach and you're going to make the team spread out wide with the like combinations, you have to spread out wide, bro. You can't be tight and like only run like 2-3 meters like on the field
coming from the bloke that almost made first grade.
No, but we all know what's happening out there. You know, it's just like it's just dumb.
When we were in our 50-meter line, we were actually spreading it like how we did against Suncorp. We were spreading around, trying to get through them because Broncos are playing with their forwards because they got big forwards. So I did see something as if they were trying to get around them. We did make some line breaks, but we never had that support run, like from Connor Tracy or from Burton. So again, it's trials. We'll just see what happens round one.
Yeah, look, if you didn't notice during preseason, we spoke about this last year in regards to the play the ball rule. This year, preseason, they're really focused on it and they're really punishing when no one's correct. If you're not playing the ball correctly, it's a penalty.
They do this every year. They do this every year, bro. From pre-season to about round 10, this rule book comes into effect, and then they forget about it all year. Yeah. But I remember it happened last year.
Maybe it did. Yeah, maybe it did.
With the foot on the ball, So you gotta, so like if you incorrectly play the ball without, making an attempt at the ball, they call it a penalty or whatever they do. Yeah, that lasts till about round 10, and then they forget about it, and everyone's just doing it in the air. They're just putting it between their legs. But like, I don't know. Should that be in effect, but like throughout the whole season from rounds 1 to 24?
Yeah, if it's got like you have to be consistent. Yeah. If it's you can't just say round 1 to round 10 and just forget about it. It has to be throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I think they got to really stop on that. People might think it's not a big deal. Maybe not be a big deal, but it's in the rules, and you got to stick by the rules. And
absolutely, you have to stick by. If you don't stick by it, then you're going to get penalised off the bat.
Yeah, because you might be in a crucial position where a team doesn't play the ball properly. You're wanting a penalty, and then that could help you. With whatever the situation in the game is. So
they're trying to play the balls.
Yeah. They need to stick on it and be consistent with it.
Yeah, bro. It's as you said, consistency. We've always been saying consistency with the referees. We need consistency. I feel like they should be consistent with it. Everyone's at the same level if everyone's doing the correct things. People might argue, man, like, do we really need that play the ball kind of just be between the legs? But at that point, like, what are you playing, man? You're not playing rugby league. Same thing as the scrums. People are saying, let's get rid of the scrums. There's no point in it. It's not rugby league. It's not rugby league. You gotta stay to traditions, man.
Yeah,
and
the little things are what.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what makes rugby league. Yeah. But is that it, boys? Is that it for between the sticks?
Yep.
All right, guys. If you're new here, hit the like button, hit subscribe, comment down below. Make sure you're following us on Spotify. Big things coming this year. You don't want to miss it from vlogs, interviews, whatnot. New things are coming, so make sure you stay tuned. Other than that, it's been the Touchline, and we are out. See you later.